Good morning, my friends. How's everybody doing on this beautiful sunny day? At least up here it is nice and cold, about 15 degrees. Uh, yeah. I got the Militaire done. The bike is done. What a build. Good God. Uh, Very, very intricate, brittle plastic. Um, Tiny, tiny pieces, some of them. Uh, Not a rookie beginner kit. I would not recommend it for a beginner. It was pretty tough to put together because of the brittle plastic. I had a lot of parts that broke on me that I had to fix. And then just basically putting it together was quite the journey, let me tell you. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, then we'll go look at it. Uh, the Militaire was produced from 1911 until 1920. They were made by the Militaire Motor Vehicle of America Company. It had a four-cylinder 68.1 cubic inch engine, which produced about 11 and a half horsepower. Real fast for the day. But this bike had a couple of unique features, let's call them. Um, Number one, the front axle was curved, and it moved in two bearing slots, and I will show you those when we bring it back there. It didn't steer like a conventional motorcycle. It had training wheels, for the simple fact that this motorcycle had a foot clutch and you could only put one foot on the ground. This bike weighed almost 800 pounds. Okay? I got a fat boy that weighs 650 pounds. And I've tried it with one leg on the ground, and it's no fun. It's heavy. You can feel the weight with just one leg on the ground. So that's what the things with the training wheels are for. It had a lever that you pushed as you were coming up, either a cop that had stopped you or whatever. When you were stopping, you stepped on this pedal and they went down. So when you got to a stop, they went down and you could take both feet off. Oh, you couldn't take both feet off. I'm sorry. You had to leave your left foot on because that's the clutch pedal was on the left-hand side. It had a suicide stick, or in other words, you shifted it with your hand. Not like the bikes nowadays where you shift with your foot. It had what was called a suicide stick. So you foot clutched and you shifted with your hand. It had a two-speed gearbox in it with a reverse. Because the bike weighed so much, you needed the reverse. My dad said the same thing about his Henderson. His Henderson had a reverse because the bike just weighed so much. He says there was no way you were pushing that thing backwards while sitting on it. So it had that. And then it was also almost over 8 feet long. It was 97 inches. 96 inches is 8 feet. So it was an inch longer than 8 feet. So try holding that thing up. It cost at the time about $335 to buy it brand new. Right now, I'm sure if you could find one, they're priceless. From what I can see and what I can dig up, you can go to Harrah's Auto Museum in Reno, Nevada, and they have one there. I found a couple online at different various museums. Quite the look, quite the motorcycle. Quite the motorcycle. So, without further ado, let's go look and we'll go take a peek. Shopcat is sound asleep. Doing Shopcat things. All right, guys. Another barn find. Another bar find. Bar find or barn find? There we go. Here we are, fellas. Here we are. See if I can bring you in a little closer. It's about the closest we can get. Now here are those Here are the bearings. These rods here slid in here when you turn the motorcycle. So when you turn the front end, these rods slid in these bearings here. This whole thing moved on both sides. Wooden rims. If the reason was that they were wooden rims was because the owner of the company said they work, so why not? Yeah, there's the other side. You can see where they moved here. And then you got your training wheels back here. There's the clutch I was talking about. There's the foot clutch. This pedal here was the brake, and there was one on the other side. Yeah, there's the pedal. There's the pedal for the rear wheels, the training wheels. You'd step on that and they would automatically go down. And then as you took off, they would raise, they would come up like landing gear on an airplane. So that's how that worked. There's the suicide stick, the shifter, crank, drive shaft drive, final drive, 4-cylinder motor, speedometer here. That's a speedometer with a speedometer cable. But another barn find, gents. Another barn find. This is the Militaire. This whole back end here, oh my God. What a job putting this whole back end together. Every single one of these rods is a separate piece. Every single one of these rods was a separate piece. All this stuff down here was all separate. Everything back here, I had to put all that on separate. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way she came out. Like I said, I did another barn find. Oop, wrong way. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. Now I got the Howie to put together, and from looking at the directions of that looks like it's going to be more complicated than putting this one together. But, yeah, trying to get this front end together up front here. Which kills me because they make the front end to turn. This front end turns. But as soon as you put these things in, it don't. Because you'd have to modify these. You'd have to scratch build these. You know what I mean? You'd have to get a piece of rod and then cut this out and haul it out so that the rod would go. So I wasn't doing that. And I don't think it's gonna be that easy as it sounds. So I just built it like the way it is. But the kickstand goes up and down. But yeah, it was all in all a pretty cool build. Had a lot of fun. Like I said, it was a little intricate and a little tricky at some points, but and you can see what I mean by these small parts, guys. I mean, I broke one of these. I broke one on the front. One of the front ones broke because it's just so thin and brittle. And I know the guy said, "Oh, use an old blade and heat it up." And yeah, well, it was just even trying to cut them off that way. But it is what it is. And every single one of those bikes was made of the same plastic. They're all made by the same company. So, but that's what we got. So let me know what you think. The handlebars, yeah, they're down like that, but that's the way they go. Even when I look at the pictures on online, the handlebars are way down low like that. And they'd only go in here one way. They'd only go in there because they have like a top U-piece, and then the bottom U-piece was on the other piece, so they'd only sit one way, guys. So that was it. Well, I'm running out of time. We got 10 seconds. So let me know what you think. Have a good day. Peace out, boys.